So I've known you for some time now, and I've seen you at parties, but like, I don't think I know what you do. I just know it's probably cool.
I hope it's cool. So I do a lot of stuff, but right now I'm making music. I rap, but I don't consider myself too much of a rapper. I think I'm more of an experimental artist. And I think that's something you can pick up when you listen to the music.
Yeah.
I don't stick to the strict hip-hop box per se. I think I draw influences from a lot of genres, so I kind of mix that into what I do myself. So yeah, I think right now I'm a musician, basically.
I heard though that you write as well, right?
Yes, and you know, I think it's the only talent that I have. Maybe I have more. I don't know, maybe I just haven't had the space to try other things. But I fell into it because like in school, like after grade 10, I think things started going downhill for me. And I kind of noticed that languages was something that I was really good at. And so after high school, I took a gap year and I tried a couple of different things. Tried to go to a DJ school, I kind of got bored and stopped that. And then I enrolled for a fashion design course and I kind of never did that as well. Ended up becoming a barman and a waiter.
Really?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, especially the bar. That was a lot of fun. I loved it. But like during that whole year, I'm just like, what the hell am I gonna do with my life? And because I like writing, I was just like, let me just go study journalism, and that's what I did. And I really thought I was gonna be a journalist for the rest of my life, but you know, yeah, I kind of didn't enjoy that either.
You studied journalism, and then what did you do with the writing? Did you work for a magazine?
Yes, I did. My first job was in television. I worked for Reuters, like doing hard news, like for television.
Really?
Yeah, politics and all of that. And then I moved over to ENCA. I was a writer with them for a couple of years and a current affairs producer as well. I produced Justice Malala's show. And then all the while, I was also freelancing as a fashion writer.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed writing fashion. Yeah. And I sort of got stuck in that fashion world for quite a while. And then I went back to newspapers. I worked at the Sowetan as an entertainment journalist. And I think that was the turning point for me, working as an entertainment journalist, because, you know, I'm interested in culture and in art, but the media is more interested in personalities. I ended up moving to Cape Town, not knowing what I'm gonna do with my life in Cape Town, partied a lot. And then eventually, I was freelancing as a researcher throughout that time. And I remember there's this company from Amsterdam that hired me to do some research, and they paid me a lot of money. I'm like, yes, I've got money. What am I gonna do with this money? And because I was in such a dip in my life, like at the back of my head, there was always that thing on what exactly are you gonna do for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
So I had to do some soul searching and really try to understand and, you know, think back to my childhood. What are the things that I really enjoy? What are the things that I enjoy doing now?
Yeah.
And the answer for me was music, you know? So yeah, I started pursuing that, and I haven't stopped since.
That's incredible though. But were you writing lyrics?
Oh yeah. I've been writing lyrics on my own, not sharing with anyone since I was in high school.
For real?
Started with poetry, and then I remember I went to high school with Krista. And Krista used to go to the ciphers, so I'd go along with him and just watch everybody doing the ciphers. But I think I was so shy, I didn't want to share what I was writing.
Yeah.
So it was something that I would do like privately at home or even at school when I'm not listening to the teacher. I'm busy writing rhymes.
And like anything specific, like did you have a story to tell? Were you talking about yourself? What was that?
I think mostly I was talking about myself. There's actually a track that I did called The Gift, and the first verse there was written when I was 15 years old, and I only put it in the track 2 years ago. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you created an alter ego. Yeah. What does it mean? Where does it come from?
So I'm gender non-conforming, and MX makes is the honorific that is used by gender non-conforming people in place of Mr. or Miss. My friends call me Sandy Blouse, so because I used to wear a lot of blouses when I was working in fashion, sitting on the front row in my blouse. So they were like, this is Sandy Blouse. So MxBlouse is basically like saying Mr. Blouse. I actually went by Mr. Blouse for a while, and then I changed it to Mx. Yeah, getting more comfortable with myself.
Great.
Yeah.
Somebody told me you don't use pronouns.
No.
Explain that to me. That's interesting.
So when you are gender non-conforming, it basically means your gender is neither man or woman. So you're somewhere in between. And so, I mean, you have to find the language for that. You know, I always say that language is developed by society. So whatever society accepts, there'll be a language for. But society kind of doesn't accept that there are people who are in the middle, who are neither man or woman. So you just use they instead of he or she.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So
it's like a combination of the two.
Yeah.
I'm a combination, so I'm actually plural, not singular.
You're plural. That's great. Then how does the rap community or rap society rather deal with that? Because you know, rap has got a look, it's got a sound. In order to be considered a hardcore whatever rapper, you've got to look a specific way. How do you cut through that? And is it difficult for you?
I think I'm lucky in the sense that I'm not even trying to fit into that mold, you know? I'm trying to do my own thing. I'm really just trying to do what I enjoy. Whether the hip-hop community wants to accept that or not, I'm just gonna keep making music, and those who want to listen to it will. But it's been interesting, you know, as you know, I go out a lot. Like, a lot of people that come up to me to say they enjoy what I do happens to be heterosexual men. People are able to think beyond whatever we think hip-hop should be and just appreciate good music. Because at the end of the day, you know, the hip-hop I grew up with was Nas, Lauryn Hill, people who are talking about their experiences, you know, and everyone has experiences. So whether you share them through the medium of hip-hop or any other genre, it shouldn't matter. You're still telling stories.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And your creative writing process, like how do you, when you've got your book of rhymes, when you pull that book out, how do you start?
Sure. It works differently for different things. Like sometimes I'm at a bar somewhere, you know, just chatting to someone, and 2 lines pop into my head. So I'll take my phone out and either wrap them into my phone or jot it down in the notes in the phone, I guess. Sometimes I just wake up in the morning and this thing just won't leave. So I'm like, okay, I have to write this down. Another track I did recently, I was reading the Daily Sun.
Oh, wow. That's a great source of inspiration.
I was reading the Daily Sun about that TV show called Papgeld. And when I went online, there was a video of this guy they came to chase down with the baby mama. He ran away. It was so funny. So I just had this thing on some Yadla Pansinsizwa, Yazi Skebing. And
great.
A song came from that.
Are you always aware of your surroundings and listening to things, and is there always a trigger?
Yeah, I don't know, it happens like involuntarily, like I don't think about it, it just happens. I think I've always just been aware of my surroundings as a person. I observe things. I think that's one of the reasons why I went into journalism and even writing, you know, as a writer, in order to create your story, like you draw influences from the world around you. You can't write something you have no experience of. I mean, you can do the research, but it's not gonna be as authentic as it could be if these are your experiences, you know. And I think that's why, you know, when you listen to Ispugu Pugu, the story is basically based in a club setting, because that's what I know.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And the things that happen when I'm in that space, I'm so aware of what's happening. So that kind of informs everything I do.
And have you found the sound? Like the sound that you're putting out now, is that?
I think right now I'm happy where I am. You know, one of the people I work with, Parable, who does my beats, I made him a playlist of all the Kwaito music from the 90s and early 2000s that I was into.
Those are amazing references.
I'm like, let's go this way, Baba. Let's go this way.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That kind of authenticity for me is so powerful. Like one of my favorite quotes, I guess, is "steal like an artist."
Yeah, 100%.
Which is, I think a lot of people don't get what that means.
Yeah.
When you're able to grab things that you really love and to create something original. Originality comes from you being able to pull from sources
100%.
and blend and make it think. Like you have a big responsibility though, because like Youngster, you have to keep chipping away till the masses go, I see what you're trying to do.
I mean, I don't mind that at all, like when I've got a good beat and we're working and we're making the music, in my mind it's just like we'll get there to where the mainstream will hear you, but like in the meanwhile just keep producing good stuff. I always try to make music that I can enjoy as well, and I think that's a good starting point. If I'm pressing repeat, then there's a good chance that someone else will.
Based on what you've learned, I mean, you said you went on a soul searching, you really wanted to figure out who you were. What have you learned, and what do you speak about in your music that you hope people would walk away with?
Yeah, I think, for me, it's just the concept of knowing yourself. Identity is very important, and you form your identity through your experiences and the different, not just the cultures, but like the spaces that you occupy. And I think it's important to know who you are in the context of the rest of the world. Without knowing that, like you also, like empathy also has a lot to do with self-awareness, I think. Because when you are aware of yourself, the things that make you tick, you are also prone to being aware of your behavior when it ticks off someone else, I think, because you're more in touch with yourself. So it was very important for me to get to that place. And in my music, I speak a lot about social issues because I care about social justice. And I think that is purely informed by my own identity, the struggles that I've been in through life, and being able to look at other people and be like, we have a different struggle, but I know how it is to struggle, so I can be empathetic to that. I get a lot of young women like sending me messages on some, thank you so much for being so pro-women in your song. And it's the little bit that I can give, so yeah.